Greetings and salutations, fellow dungeon dwellers. Welcome to the uproarious adventure that is What's Your Damage? I'm Kira, your trusty host.
And I'm Amara, your wild and whimsical co-host. Prepare yourself for a roaring rampage through the realms of D&D, as today we delve deep into the ferocious and fearsome world of the Barbarian class.
That's right, Amara. Get ready to flex your muscles, both physical and comedic, as we embark on a quest to uncover the secrets of these mighty, rage-fueled warriors.
Rage!
Rawr.
So sharpen your wit along with your battle axe. Battle axe. Because today, we're serving up a heaping helping of barbarian goodness. We'll be dishing out the history of the class, from primitive origins to modern-day mayhem.
And once we've stirred up your interest within the barbarians' past, we'll delve into their impressive repertoire of abilities. We're talking raging tantrums, unparalleled strength, and enough resilience to make a diamond blush.
But wait, there's more. We'll dig into the treasure trove of subclasses that allow you to personalize your barbarian experience. From the path of the berserker to the way of the totem warrior, we've got options that will make your head spin faster than Marie Antoinette's after the guillotine.
Death make your head go whee! And as always, we're here to help you sharpen your gaming skills. We'll guide you through the art of playing a barbarian with finesse and flair. We'll share tactical tips for combat, show you how to manage your rage without losing your cool, and help you become the envy of every goblin horde.
And if that's not enough, we're throwing in some role-playing gems as well. We'll explore how to tap into your inner beast, roar,
Hulk smash!
develop a backstory that's more captivating than a dragon's horde. I highly doubt that.
Me too.
No offense to anyone who writes amazing backstories, but I would like to be able to dig through a dragon's horde. Dragon would probably have to be dead, of course. Whatever.
Well, see, but the backstories, we have the ability to,
Traumatized little bean. We make them all traumatized little beans. But let's bring your barbarian to life like never before.
So grab your dice, strap on your armor, and get ready to rage against the mundane. The Barbarian class awaits, and we're your tour guides through the land of epic battles, hilarious mishaps, and even more. Today we're cracking open the ancient tomes of Dungeons & Dragons history to explore the wild and woolly origins of the Barbarian class. Prepare yourselves for a rollicking ride through the years of D&D lore.
The Barbarian class has been around since the very inception of this wondrous game. It's as classic as a critical hit and as legendary as a Vorpal sword. So grab your loincloths and sharpen your wits. And, maybe add some extra clothing besides the loincloth.
Yeah, it depends on where you're at, though.
Because that is a mind-boggling fact I don't want to learn.
The humble beginnings of the Barbarian. Picture this. It's 1974. The year disco was born.
Oh, God.
And a little game called Original Dungeons & Dragons hit the scene. The Barbarian emerged as a subclass of the fighter, all brawn and not much brain. Big dumb.
And actually, in original D&D, it wasn't just called fighter, it was fighter man. I don't know why.
Fighter man.
But it seems the early designers thought a barbarian's intelligence was inversely proportional to their strength. I guess they were too busy bashing skulls to crack open a book.
But fear not, listeners, as the realm of D&D evolved, so did the Barbarian. In 1977, a D&D arrived, and our favorite primal warriors stepped out of the fighter's shadow. They became their own class, bursting with new abilities and the legendary power to rage.
Rage! There's nothing quite like watching a barbarian unleash their fury on unsuspecting foes. It's like watching a halfling discover an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Bliss! Oh, man.
Paradise!
Second, third, fourth, and fifth breakfast. And the changes didn't stop there, my fellow adventurers. In the hallowed halls of Dungeons & Dragons history, the Barbarian class continued to evolve like a dragon going through puberty. Second edition, third edition, fourth edition, each edition brought its own flavorful tweaks.
Oh, the leaps and bounds of progress. quite literally in 2nd edition, when barbarians gained the ability to leap great distances, it was like they were auditioning for the elven long jump team.
Then came the mighty 4th edition, where barbarians were gifted with the power to wield an assortment of weapons. It was like a carnival of carnage. Step right up, folks. We've got axes, hammers, hammer, and even a rusty spoon for the truly brave.
I like rusty spoons.
I like the way they feel against my solid fingers. You're welcome to anyone old enough to understand that. But let's not forget the current age of D&D, 5th edition. The Barbarian class underwent yet another metamorphosis, gaining the incredible ability to resist damage. They're like the dwarven equivalent of a brick wall, only with more muscles and fewer stones. I'm sure there's at least one stone up there. You rattle a
He's a brick. How?
See, I was going for the fact if you shake a barbarian, you probably hear the stones rattling around up there, because that's all that's home.
All that's home. Maybe that's
there
all
are
they're
some smart barbarians.
Singing that, so that makes me feel like the modern barbarian class is a force to be reckoned with. They have the strength of a dozen orcs, the constitution of a gnomish brewmaster, and the rage of a halfling denied second breakfast. Oh no, not the second breakfast.
Oh no.
Hulk smash! Now I'm imagining just this little fucking hobbit just turning green with rage and just gaining maybe 2 or 3 feet. They go from small to full-size person.
I mean, if you multi-class with a rune knight fighter, you can put the giant rune on them and they go to a large character. They go from medium to large. Okay, sorry.
No, yeah.
Whether you're a seasoned barbarian enthusiast or a wide-eyed adventurer ready to swing your first greatsword, battle axe, or hammer, join us as we embrace the ferocity, the audacity, and the sheer hilarity of the barbarian class in all its glorious incarnations.
Stay tuned, brave souls. In our next segment, we'll unravel the secrets of the barbarian's abilities. From raging tantrums to resistance against damage, it's a buffet of barbaric goodness you won't want to miss.
So gather round, grab a tankard of ale, and let's journey together through the rich tapestry of the barbarian class in modern D&D. Kira's Cuts and Crafts, handmade delights with love. Discover a world of creativity and craftsmanship with Kira's Cuts and Crafts. We offer custom handmade stickers, vinyls, shirts, crocheted amigurumi, blankets, and more. Each piece is made with love, attention to detail, and a touch of magic. Join our crafting community and unlock a world of unique goodies. Shop, create, and be inspired with Kira's Cuts and Crafts. You can follow us on Facebook, and there you'll find a link to our shop, and that is Cuts, Kuts.
Welcome back, brave adventurers. It's time to unleash our inner beast as we continue our wild exploration of the mighty barbarian class in D&D. Get ready to flex those biceps and sharpen those axes.
That's right, Kira. Barbarians are the true embodiment of versatility. They can be as flexible as a bard performing an interpretive dance, or as solid as a dwarven fortress, depending on how you choose to play them.
Absolutely. When it comes to playing a barbarian, there are a multitude of paths you can take. Some barbarians focus on dealing jaw-dropping amounts of damage, slicing through foes like a hot knife through butter.
And if they find a halfling right after second breakfast, they probably are slicing through some butter.
Maybe.
Sir? Oh yes. Oh yes. Picture this. A barbarian wielding a massive great axe, twirling it with such finesse that it's like they're auditioning for a barbarian ballet troupe.
I just straight seen a bunch of Conan the Barbarian guys just pirouetting.
Did you never watch Dave the Barbarian?
Yeah, fair enough. Same. Same.
Their enemies quake in fear, not just from their sheer strength of their blows, but the elegance of which they swing that weapon.
Indeed.
Swing.
Indeed, but let's not forget the tanktastic barbarians. They are the ones who dive headfirst into the fray, soaking up damage like a thirsty sponge. They're the ones who stand tall in the face of danger, daring enemies to take their best shot.
Tanks are like the heroes of old legends, Kira. Their unyielding presence inspires their allies, while their stubbornness frustrates their enemies. Imagine a barbarian with a shield standing defiantly in front of their friends, challenging foes with a grin that says, "Come at me, bro." Granted, barbarians don't really carry shields most of the time, but they can.
They can. Everybody can carry a shield, I guess. Can't they?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And let's not overlook the support barbarians. Yes, you heard me right. Support barbarians exist, and they're not to be underestimated. These crafty adventurers use their abilities to buff their allies or debuff their enemies, adding a touch of strategic genius to their raging madness.
Ooh, the tactical twist. Picture this. A support barbarian standing amidst their party. A whirlwind of energy and primal power. With a mighty shout, they inspire their comrades, their voices ringing with a combination of encouragement and pure, unadulterated fury.
It's like watching a bard and a barbarian have a baby and then teach it the ways of the epic rage-fueled battle tactics. Unforgettable to say the least.
Barbarian.
Barbarian.
And speaking of unforgettable, let's delve into the primary stats that make a barbarian truly shine. First and foremost, we have strength. It's the muscle behind every barbarian swing. The power that brings the thunder and lightning.
Absolutely. Brings the thunder. Bring the thunder. Thunder. A barbarian without strength is like a wizard without spells. A sad floppy mess. So, dear listeners, make sure your barbarian hits the gym and chugs their protein shakes, because strength is the name of the game. And the game is Gains in the glorious house of Gains.
But let's not forget about Constitution. It's the barbarian's best friend, their life force, and their ticket to being the tankiest tank that has ever tanked. Oh, that's a lot. With a high constitution, a barbarian can soak up damage like a sponge in a hot tub.
And speaking of damage, we have dexterity. It may not be as crucial as strength and constitution, but a barbarian with nimble feet can avoid attacks like a rogue with a fancy pair of dancing shoes.
As for intelligence, well, let's just say it's not the barbarian's strong suit. Barbarians tend to prefer brawn over brains, but that doesn't mean they can't solve a puzzle or two. Just don't expect them to outsmart a kobold in a game of chess. Unless it's, another kobold that's also a barbarian.
And then it's a 50-50 chance it can go either way.
No, they'll just start making up their own rules.
Oh, fair enough.
Like, what does this little small one do? Oh, I can flick it at you from across the board to hit you in the forehead?
Oh, if I flick this one, it'll go up your nose and then I win. And then there's wisdom. While not as crucial as strength or constitution, a barbarian with wisdom can resist the charms of wicked enchantments and shrug off the effects of mind-altering spells. It's like having a sixth sense for danger.
And last but not least, we have charisma. Now, let's be honest here. Barbarians aren't exactly known for their charms. They're more likely to intimidate someone into submission than to sweet-talk them into compliance. Charisma is not their strong suit, but hey, who needs charisma when you have an axe the size of a dragon? Or more specifically, a dragon's tail.
And what can you do with an axe that big? Rage! When a barbarian enters a state of rage, it's like they've had one too many flagons of dwarven ale and decided to give their emotions free rein. They become an unstoppable force fueled by raw power and a complete disregard for subtlety.
Oh, the joys of raging. It's like watching a hulkling barbarian transform into a whirlwind of destruction. Their muscles bulge, their eyes blaze with fury, and they run into battle with the grace of a charging rhinoceros. Nothing can stand in their way.
I'm just imagining like a rhino dressed in yellow and red with a mustache.
You're stuck on Spider-Man, aren't you?
No.
What is that?
Hulk Hogan, brother.
Oh, God.
Brother. Anyway. And let's not forget about the temporary bonuses that come with Rage. Increased damage output. Check. Resistance to damage. Double check. Advantage on strength checks. Triple check. It's like the gods themselves bless the barbarian with a surge of pure awesomeness.
Absolutely. Barbarians truly have the Midas touch. Except instead of things turning to gold, they turn everything they touch into a chaotic, action-packed spectacle. It's like they were born with a magic ring that says, "Raging? I do my best work when I'm furious."
With that, we'll move on to our next ability, though. We have the Danger Sense. This is the Barbarian's built-in danger detector. The sixth sense for impending doom. When danger approaches, their instinct kicks into overdrive, giving them an advantage on dex saving throws against sneaky surprises.
Oh, the reflexes. It's like watching a barbarian dance through a minefield with the grace of a half-ogre. On roller skates for some reason. Arrows whiz past, traps snap shut, and the barbarian emerges unscathed, flipping their hair back with a smirk that says, "Nice try, dungeon, but you can't catch me. Run as fast as you can't catch me. I'm a raging barbarian.
And finally, we have Relentless Rage. This ability takes the concept of never give up to a whole new level. When a barbarian is at death's door, they refuse to back down. They keep fighting even after they've been reduced to 0 hit points. It's like a defiant slap in the face to the Grim Reaper.
Talk about tenacity. Just when you thought the barbarians couldn't get any more exciting, along come these 8 subclasses, each with their own unique twists and turns. It's like choosing toppings for an epic barbarian sundae.
So grab your spoons and let's dig in. First up, we have the Path of the Berserker. These wild warriors are the epitome of raw power and uncontrolled fury. They rage like there's no tomorrow, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. It's like watching a raging bull at a china shop. Destructive, yet strangely captivating.
Up next, we have the Path of the Totem Warrior. These versatile barbarians have a spiritual connection to animal totems, which grants them different abilities. Imagine a barbarian with the spirit of the bear, shrugging off blows like they're merely mosquito bites. Ow. Ow, itchy.
Well, evidently they don't feel it.
Or a barbarian with the agility of a cat, leaping and pouncing on their foes. Depending on the size of the barbarian, that may be more like a jungle cat. It's like having a furry entourage of animal buddies. That sounds so fun. Ready to unleash their awesomeness at your command.
Then we have the Path of the Storm Herald. These barbarians channel the power of the elements, becoming living tempests on the battlefield. Picture a barbarian conjuring lightning bolts, summoning tornadoes, and making it rain with a vengeance. It's like having a personal weather wizard on your side, ready to turn your enemies into soggy, defeated messes.
Oh, let's not forget the Path of the Zealot. These devout barbarians are fueled by religious fervor and unwavering faith. They channel the divine into their every swing, becoming unstoppable forces of righteous fury. It's like watching a paladin and a barbarian team up for a divine tag team match. Talk about a heavenly smackdown.
Now, hold on to your hats because we have the Path of the Wild Soul.
My hat's gone.
My hat's gone too. These barbarians tap into primal magic, unleashing devastating attacks that would make a wizard blush. Picture a barbarian conjuring flaming claws, summoning ethereal spirits, and causing the very ground to quake beneath their feet. It's like watching a chaotic magic show, complete with fireballs and levitating warhammers. Hammer!
And let's not overlook the Path of the Beast. These savage barbarians can transform into monstrous beasts, ripping and tearing through enemies like a kid with wrapping paper on Christmas morning. It's like watching a werewolf go on a shopping spree at the armory. Just imagine the fucking look on the shopkeeper's face.
Moving right along, we have the Path of the Battle Rager. These hardcore barbarians wear spiked armor and turn themselves into living pincushions. They're like a walking suit of medieval acupuncture. They can grapple foes with their armor, deal damage when they're hit, and basically turn themselves into mobile danger zones.
Highway to the danger zone.
It's like giving a porcupine a crash course in professional wrestling.
And last, but certainly not least, we have the Path of the Ancestral Guardian. These noble barbarians summon the spirits of their ancestors to protect their allies. It's like having a ghostly entourage of ancient warriors ready to lend a spectral hand and terrify your enemies. Who needs haunted houses when you have a barbarian with a rocking afterlife party?
Right? Alright, so we've covered history, ability, subclasses, and now it's time to tackle feats. Those little nuggets of awesomeness that can take your barbarian to the next level.
That's right. Feats are like the cherry on top of your barbarian sundae, the extra sprinkles that make your battle cries even sweeter. So let's dive in and uncover the feats that will make your barbarian shine like a polished warhammer.
First up, we have the Great Weapon Master feat. This beauty allows your barbarian to deal even more damage with their weapons. It's like giving them a license to smash. A permission slip to unleash the fury of 1,000 raging thunderstorms.
Oh, the joy of swinging a mighty great axe and watching your enemies crumble beneath the weight of your blows. With the Great Weapon Master feat, your barbarian becomes a force of nature, leaving a trail of broken bones and astonished foes in their wake.
And speaking of mighty swings, we have the Polearm Master feat. This little gem gives your barbarian the ability to make an extra attack when they wield a polearm. It's like watching a whirlwind of steel, a tornado of devastation, as your barbarian slashes and stabs with reckless abandon.
Picture this. Your barbarian holding a halberd, spinning it like a majestic baton twirler, and landing strikes that leave enemies spinning in dizzying circles. It's like watching a dance of destruction, a choreographed masterpiece, with a touch of berserker flair.
And now let's move to the Sentinel feat. This one is all about protecting your allies. With the Sentinel feat, your barbarian becomes a guardian angel, swooping in to punish any fool who dare attack your party members.
Oh, the satisfaction of stopping your enemies dead in their tracks, like an ogre slamming into a stone wall. With the Sentinel feat, your barbarian becomes the ultimate bodyguard, their imposing presence a warning to all who dare cross them. It's like being a walking no entry sign. And honestly, Sentinel's pretty good for just about any hard-hitting class. Because as soon as an enemy tries to attack an ally that is adjacent to you, you can turn around and say, hey, I'm gonna hit you.
And let's not forget the Tough feat. This feat gives your barbarian more hit points, making them even harder and tougher to take down. It's like slapping a handle with care sticker on your barbarian because they're about to become an even bigger headache for your enemies.
Oh, the joy of seeing your barbarian shrug off blows that would fell lesser warriors. Like a wizard. Sorry, wizards. Y'all squishy. And warlocks. Y'all squishy too. With the Tough feat, your barbarian becomes a walking fortress, a mountain of muscle and resilience. It's like watching them bounce back from injuries with a defiant grin, saying, "Is that all you've got?
Last but certainly not least, we have the Feral Instinct feat. This gives your barbarian an advantage on initiative rolls. It's like giving your barbarian a turbo boost, a head start in the race to bash heads and take names.
Imagine your barbarian ready to pounce on unsuspecting enemies before they even have a chance to blink. With the Feral Instincts feat, your barbarian becomes a master of surprise, a cunning predator who strikes with lightning speed. It's like watching a cheetah outrun a herd of startled gnolls.
Now, listeners, we're going to cut to a short word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with some more barbarian goodness.
The sponsors, they need us.
They need us. Hey there, adventurers, it's Kira, your guide to all things epic and fantastical. I wanted to take a moment to let you in on a little secret. You know the place where all your wildest gaming dreams come true? Well, it's called whatyourdamage.com. and it's your one-stop shop for everything you need to level up your tabletop adventures. At our website, you'll find a treasure trove of player resources that will enhance your gaming experience. From character sheets to links to rulebooks to helpful guides and tips, we've got you covered. And let's not forget about our podcast episodes, where we dive deep into all things Dungeons & Dragons. So whether you're a seasoned adventurer or just starting your quest, there's something for everyone. But wait, there's more. We've also partnered with Printify to bring you the What's Your Damage Printify shop. It's a magical place filled with unique and stylish merchandise that will show off your love for the game. From t-shirts and mugs to dice bags and phone cases coming soon, you'll find the perfect loot to flaunt your tabletop pride. So don't wait, my friends. Grab your potion of speed and head on over to whatsyourdamage.com. That's your spelled UR, of course. Your next adventure awaits. Happy gaming, and remember, stay fabulous. Welcome back, courageous adventurers, to the thrilling conclusion of our epic journey through the Barbarian class in D&D. In this segment, we're diving headfirst into the realm of gameplay, where you'll discover the ins and outs of unleashing your inner barbaric brilliance.
That's right, Kara. Playing a barbarian is like diving into a giant cauldron of bubbling chaos and coming out with a handful of awesomeness. So grab your battle axe and prepare to embrace your rage with style and some flair.
First and foremost, let's talk about the bread and butter of the barbarian.
Rage.
Rage. This ability is your ticket to unparalleled power and survivability, so don't be afraid to unleash your fury and go berserk when the time is right.
Absolutely. Rage is like a double shot of dwarven espresso. It boosts your damage output and turns you into a damage-soaking machine. So charge into battle like a raging bull and leave your enemies wondering how you managed to hit so hard and still look so good.
But remember, dear listeners, being a barbarian isn't just about swinging your weapon wildly and screaming at the top of your lungs. You're also a tank, a guardian of your party. Use your high hit and resistance to damage to protect your allies. Stand tall like a towering mountain and absorb blows meant for others. Shield your companions from harm with the fury of 1,000 storm clouds.
Your allies will be forever grateful as you soak up the damage and leave your enemies scratching their heads in frustration. Just imagine the look on their faces when they realize you're an immovable wall, blocking their every attempt to harm your friends. Like MasterCard, it's priceless.
And let's not forget about dealing damage, because barbarians are absolute beasts in that department. With your high strength and the power of your rage, you have the potential to become a walking natural disaster. So swing that weapon with your might, my friends, and let your enemies taste the true meaning of devastation.
Oh, the sheer joy of watching your enemies crumple before you, their jaws dropping as they witness your fearsome display of strength. It's like giving them a front row seat to the greatest demolition show in the realms. Cue the fireworks and epic soundtrack.
And here's a secret tip, dear listeners. Barbarians aren't just mindless brutes. You can be creative and resourceful in combat. Use your environment to your advantage. Whether it's swinging from chandeliers, toppling bookshelves onto your foes, or using fallen enemies as impromptu weapons.
Those poor books.
The possibilities are as endless as the fury in your heart.
Oh, the chaos. And those poor books. The sheer audacity of grabbing a goblin by the ankles and swinging it around like a wrecking ball, clearing the room with one swift motion. Goblin pinwheel. It's like turning combat into a performance act, where the stage is littered with dazed enemies and the audience is left in awe of your barbarian brilliance.
And remember, role-playing your barbarian is just as important as their combat prowess. Sure, barbarians may be seen as savage and uncivilized, but they can be just as complex and nuanced as any other character. Give your barbarian a personality trait that shines, a backstory that adds depth, and let their unique quirks and nuances take center stage.
Absolutely. Your barbarian can be more than just a swinging weapon of destruction. They can have dreams, aspirations, and maybe a fondness for knitting in their downtime. Crocheting is so much better. Sorry to any knitters out there, I know what I'm good at. Who says barbarians cannot be skilled in needlework? Yes, I'm just doing my cross stitch before I bash your skull in.
So, dear listeners, remember these tips as you embark on your barbarian adventures. Use your rage wisely, be aware of your surroundings, and above all, have fun. Let your inner barbarian roar with laughter and relish in the pure joy of playing a character who's both fierce and hilarious. Thank you, mighty listeners, for joining us on this outrageously epic quest through the Barbarian class in D&D. We hope you had a barbarically good time, laughed your pants off, figuratively we hope, and gained enough knowledge to impress even the most cantankerous dungeon master.
Absolutely, your support and unyielding enthusiasm have made this adventure a wild and wacky success. We couldn't do it without you.
Now it's time for you, our fearless friends, to become heroes of support. Picture this: you, champion of our podcast, wielding the power of Spotify and Patreon, ready to take on the challenge of bolstering our ranks.
On Spotify, you can show your undying love by leaving a review that makes the bards sing and the dragons weep with envy. Share your favorite moments far and wide, like an epic tale spreading across the realms. Let the world know that What's Your Damage is the place to be for laughter and D&D shenanigans.
And for those valiant souls seeking even greater rewards, Patreon is your sacred realm. Join our exclusive community and unlock the mysteries of early access to episodes. You'll be like a time traveler, savoring each adventure before anyone else. And that's not all.
No, indeed. By joining our Patreon, you gain access to the sacred vaults of bonus content. We dive deeper into the D&D cosmos, unraveling tales, sharing secrets, and delivering laughter-infused insights, as well as a few behind-the-scenes shenanigans and moments of hilarity. It's like discovering hidden treasure in the underbelly of a dragon's hoard. Again with the dragon's hoard, I want to look through it.
And behold, the Discord server awaits, like a bustling tavern filled with laughter and camaraderie. Immerse yourself in the electric atmosphere, join lively discussions, and swap stories with fellow adventurers from every corner of the realm. It's like having a party that never ends, minus the hangovers.
I definitely wouldn't miss those.
Not at all.
So whether you choose to support us on Spotify, or any other podcast provider, or ascend to the ranks of our treasure patrons on Patreon, know that your contribution brings joy to our dice-rolling hearts. You become a vital part of our grand quest, fueling our passion and helping us craft unforgettable adventures.
We extend our deepest gratitude for your support, laughter, and willingness to embrace the absurdity of our podcast. Together, we continue forging a path of hilarious quests, rollicking camaraderie, and jaw-dropping crits.
Until we reunite for the next chapter of What's Your Damage, may your dice roll high, your goblin slaying skills be unmatched, and your journey through life be filled with laughter, triumph, and an endless supply of snacks.
Food! Snacks! Sniggity snack, sniggity snack. I want me a sniggity snack.